students, how are you? In today's lecture we have to study the next disorder, because it is not called as a disease, because cancer is not caused by any infection of pathogen. So in today's lecture we have to study about the cancer. Cancer is not a disease, but we can call it as a disorder of our metabolic dysfunctioning of the body, and hence this cancer is not called as a disease. In cancer, as you know, nowadays there are number of cases of cancers we have seen in all groups, means they may be poor or they may be rich. There are number of persons which are having this cancer infection. So related to that, there are number of aspects we have to study about the cancer. Here, first of all, what is meant by cancer? Cancer means there is uncontrolled growth of the cell. As you know, our body is showing growth. जे आपल्या शरीराची वाढ ही कंटिन्यूअस होत असते. कंटिन्यूअस ग्रोथ इज शोन बाय अवर बॉडी. बट व्हेन दिस ग्रोथ इज टेकिंग प्लेस outside the control, means uncontrolled cell growth or uncontrolled cell division, and due to this uncontrolled cell division or uncontrolled cell growth, there is a formation of a cell tumor or a group of cell that is called as a lumps of cell, or we can call it as a tumor. So here, in case of cancer, uncontrolled cell division is the most important factor responsible to cause the lump or the tumor. So here, first point, cancer is characterized by uncontrolled cell growth. So normally when we see our body, if suppose one organ is there and in that organ cell growth is taking place, what happens when the cell grows? It attaches or it touches the neighboring cell, and when it touches the neighboring cell, when it contacts to the neighboring cell, the cell growth is immediately stopped. म्हणजे एखाद्या ऑर्गनमध्ये समजा 100 सेल आहे, and in that 100 cells all cells are showing growth, but that growth is limited. What happens? One cell attaches to the second cell. Second cell is in contact with the third cell. As like the all 100 cells of that particular organ are showing contact between those cells. म्हणजे त्या 100 सेलमध्ये एकमेकांच्या मध्ये काय असतो? कॉन्टॅक्ट असतो, एकमेकांना टच होतो. And when they are contacting with each other, the growth of this cell and the growth of this cell automatically getting stopped, and hence there is stopping of the cell growth, and there is no growth of the cell further, and therefore there is no formation of any lump or no formation of any tumor. But what happens in case of cancer? After this contact inhibition, that process is called as a contact inhibition, means this cell grow, and when they are contact with each other, and there is a process taking place that is contact inhibition. कॉन्टॅक्ट झाल्यामुळे सेलची ग्रोथ इनहिबिट केली जाते. बट इन कॅन्सरस सेल्स वी हॅव टू सी हिअर देर इज लॉस ऑफ दिस कॉन्टॅक्ट इनहिबिशन. म्हणजे कॅन्सरस सेलमध्ये हा कॉन्टॅक्ट जरी झाला तरीसुद्धा या सेलची किंवा या सेलची वाढ होतच राहते. अँड ड्यू टू दिस अनकंट्रोल्ड सेल ग्रोथ, अनकंट्रोल्ड सेल डिव्हिजन, देर इज फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ट्यूमर. दॅट इज द बेसिक प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ द कॅन्सर फॉर्मेशन. सो हिअर normal cell shows a property which is called as a contact inhibition, by virtue of which contact with other cell inhibits their uncontrolled growth. So here, by the contact inhibition principle, the normal cells are showing limited growth, uncontrolled growth. But in cancer cells, we have observed these cancer cells appear to have lost this property of contact inhibition. In case of cancerous cell, this contact inhibition property is going to be lost, and therefore those cells are showing number of cell division, high rate of cell division, and there is formation of lump or tumor. So this is the basic principle we have to remember. In cancerous cell there is a loss of contact inhibition, and in normal cells those cells are showing contact inhibition property. It is important for NEET exam point. Now this cancer harms body when damaged cells divide and redivide uncontrollably to form lumps or masses of tissues called as a tumors. Means these cancerous cells when become harmful to our body, these cancerous cells when show growth of cell division or growth of cell which is uncontrollably formed in our body, and there is formation of lump or tumor, and then these cancerous cells are very much harmful to our body because the basic functions of our cells are going to be changed by these cancerous cells. म्हणजे मूळ जे फंक्शन आहे सेलचं ते काय केलं जातं, कॅन्सर सेलकडून चेंज केलं जातं, अँड देअर इज व्हेरी हार्मफुल इफेक्ट ऑफ दिस कॅन्सरस सेल्स. In case of leukemia, that is blood cancer, we have to remember that there is no formation of any tumor. रक्ताच्या कॅन्सरमध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारचं ट्यूमर होत नाही. बाकीच्या सर्व केसेसमध्ये आपल्याला ट्यूमर फॉर्मेशन झालेलं बघायला मिळतं. सो हिअर tumors can grow and interfere with the normal functioning of the various organs. They release hormones which are altering the body functions, and in case of leukemia there is no tumor formation, but cancerous cells prohibit the normal functioning of the blood cells and they are showing abnormal cell division in the bloodstream. So here in case of other cancers rather than the blood cancer, or in case of other body cancers, we have observing here there is formation of tumor, and these cancerous cells are altering the normal body functions, and sometimes these cells are secreting some hormones which are very much harmful and which are there metabolizing other functions which are not required by our body, and therefore cancerous cells are harmful. But in case of leukemia or in case of blood cancer, you observe that there is no formation of tumor, but the normal functions of blood are going to be altered because there is abnormal cell division in the blood. As we know that the number of RBC, the number of WBC and number of platelet is averagely present in our blood. But in case of leukemia or in case of this blood cancer, the number of white blood cells is very much increasing number. Very high number of WBCs are produced in this blood cancer, and these high number of WBCs are here showing abnormal functions, and therefore the function of blood is going to be disturbed in this leukemia or in this blood cancer. So in case of leukemia there is no tumor formation, but there is abnormal cell growth in the blood takes place, that we have to remember. Now here the next point we have seen here, the types of tumors, or we can call it as a types of cancers. There are two types of cancers or two types of tumors are formed in cancers. First is the benign tumor or non-malignant tumor, and second is the malignant tumor or cancerous tumor. Two types of tumors are formed. What is the difference between these two types of tumors? Non-malignant or benign tumors are less harmful, but malignant or cancerous tumors are very harmful, because here in diagram you can see in this benign tumor there is a covering around the cancerous cell. So these are the abnormal cells which are formed due to uncontrolled cell division, and when in case of benign tumor these are the normal tissues, and this is the abnormal group of cells, and it is called as a tumor. But this tumor is having a protective covering, or it is having a connective tissue capsule, and therefore these cancerous cells or these abnormal cells are remaining in that position only. They are not moving anywhere in the body. It is located in a single position. They are not transferring or they are not circulating, and therefore this type of tumor is less harmful. By operation method or by surgical method, when we are removing this mass of cell or removing this tumor from the body, that patient will be normal in case of this benign tumor or non-malignant tumor. But in case of this malignant tumor or cancerous tumor, you can observe here these are the normal cells and these are the cancerous cells, but there is no any covering around these cancerous cells. जे या कॅन्सरस सेलच्या भोवती कोणतेही कवरिंग नसल्यामुळं these cancerous cells are circulating throughout the body, they are spreading throughout the body, and from one infected organ, they are spreading to another organ for the infection. So here this is spreading cancer and this is localized cancer. These are the two main differences, and therefore these are spreading throughout the body one by one, and hence it is very harmful, very dangerous cancer. But this benign cancer is less harmful because it is localized cancer. It is present at only one location. It is not transporting, it is not circulating because it is having a covering. It is not having a covering, and therefore these cancerous cells are circulated through our circulatory system or our lymphatic system, and then from one infected organ the cancer is spreading to another organ, and therefore some day by day all body is showing cancerous property, and therefore this malignant tumor is very much harmful, very much dangerous, that you have to remember. Now first point here, benign or non-malignant tumor. These are comparatively harmless, stay at one spot and demonstrate limited growth. So here we have to remember that benign tumors are less harmful, they are localized, they are remaining at one spot and they are demonstrating limited growth, and therefore some benign tumors are harmful and fatal. For example, brain tumor. Some benign tumors, for example, if in brain this tumor is formed, the function of brain is going to be altered, and therefore in some patients this brain tumor is very much harmful or it may be fatal, means it is responsible for death of that person. But besides brain tumor, other such as breast cancer, liver cancer, lung cancer, in that some benign tumors are present, we have to cure बाय सर्जिकल मेथड, बाय ऑपरेटिव्ह मेथड. म्हणजे ब्रेन सोडून बाकीच्या कुठल्याही शरीराच्या भागामध्ये जर कॅन्सरची गाठ झाली असेल तर ती ऑपरेशन करून काढून टाकली तर पेशंट पूर्णपणे बरा होऊ शकतो. काही केसेसमध्ये मेंदूला जी आलेली गाठ आहे किंवा मेंदूचा जो कॅन्सर आहे तो बरा होऊ शकतो, परंतु काही केसेसमध्ये तो होऊ शकत नाही. ओके, सो हिअर मोर ओव्हर द बिनाइन ट्यूमर्स मे समटाइम्स बिकम मॅलिग्नंट. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इन सम केसेस this adenoma or fibroid, means there are different glands in our body and these glands are having this benign tumor. Sometimes they become malignant. म्हणजे काही वेळेस बिनाइन ट्यूमरचंच कन्व्हर्जन काय होऊ शकतं, मॅलिग्नंटमध्ये होऊ शकतं. दिस इज पॉईंट टू बी रिमेंबर इन केस ऑफ adenoma and in fibroid cancer. Some cases it will happen, but in the remaining cases this benign tumor is very much harmless. So next point here is the malignant tumor, or we can call this as a cancerous tumor. This is very dangerous because these are dangerous, spreading throughout the body using blood or lymphatic system, because these cancerous cells are circulated throughout the body with the help of blood or with the help of lymphatic system, and therefore the malignant cancer or the cancerous cancer we can say, or cancerous tumor we can say, it's very much dangerous. Here the malignant tumors are having a mass of proliferating cells which are called as neoplastic cells or tumor cells, means the cells which are not having any covering around it. Those type of cancer is called as a malignant cancer, and in case of malignant cancer we have to observe that these cells are called as a neoplastic cells or tumor cells, and these malignant tumors bring about three different actions in our body. First is the invasion, second is the angiogenesis, and third is the metastasis. These malignant tumors or these malignant cells are infecting to our body in three ways. First is they are making invasion, secondly they are acting as a angiogenesis, and thirdly they are acting as a metastasis. So here malignant tumors first bring about the invasion. First step is the invasion, that is these cancerous cells are moving throughout the body and destroying the healthy tissue. जसं एखाद्या पॅथोजनचं इन्व्हेजन होतं आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये, एखादा पॅथोजन येतो आणि आपल्या बॉडीतल्या सेलला इन्व्हेड करतो, खाऊन टाकतो. इन द सेम वे हिअर दीज कॅन्सरस सेल्स आर मुव्हिंग थ्रूआउट द बॉडी अँड दे आर डिस्ट्रॉइंग द हेल्दी टिश्यू, अँड दॅट प्रोसेस और दॅट स्टेप इज कॉल्ड एज ए इन्व्हेजन. So this is the first step, invasion. Second step we have to see here, the angiogenesis. Sometimes these cancerous cells divide and redivide and they are forming new blood vessels, and these new blood vessels are to feed itself. These blood vessels are not helpful to normal body functions, but these new formed blood vessels are feeding the cancerous cells itself. So here the cancerous cells are again goes on increasing due to these formed new vessels, new blood vessel formation, and that process is called as angiogenesis. Angion means blood vessels and genesis means formation. So here some cancerous cells are responsible for dividation and redividation, and there is formation of new blood vessels, and these blood vessels are feeding only cancerous cells. They are not helping the body to their normal metabolic functions, and therefore the again number of cancerous cells is increased by these newly formed blood vessels, and this process is called as angiogenesis. Okay. Then third step here is the metastasis. In metastasis, sometimes these cells are forming tumor and they are migrating to other cells or other parts of the body, and new tumor is formed to destroying that healthy tissue, and that is process is called as a metastasis. Means suppose in digestive system the tumor is formed in our stomach region. What happens? From stomach region, these cancerous cells, these malignant cells are circulated by blood or lymph, and they are causing another tumor in our small intestine and then to large intestine. So here the one tumor is spreading to forming a new tumor in other body organ and destroying their structure. That step is called as a metastasis. म्हणजे सुरुवातीला आपल्या डायजेस्टिव्ह सिस्टीममध्ये स्टमकमध्ये फक्त ट्यूमर झाला असेल तर तो ट्यूमर नंतर काय केला जातो, स्प्रेड होतो, स्मॉल इंटेस्टाईनपर्यंत जातो, नंतर तो लार्ज इंटेस्टाईनपर्यंत जातो. अशा पद्धतीचं जर स्प्रेडिंग होत असेल तर त्याला त्या कंडिशनला त्या स्टेपला काय म्हटलं जातं, मेटास्टेसिस. सो बाय इन्व्हेजन, by angiogenesis and by metastasis, this malignant tumor or this cancerous tumor is making very danger condition in the infected person's body. So this is very dangerous cancer because these are showing three steps: invasion, angiogenesis and metastasis. Okay, now we have to study the next point here. There is a branch of science or branch of medicine which is studying about the cancer related all the aspects, and that branch is called as oncology. The study, diagnosis, treatment and prevention of the cancer cells is called as the oncology. In this branch, study of cancers takes place. How to diagnose the cancer, how to control the cancer, how to prevent the cancer. So all these are the responsible aspects which are studied related to cancer in the branch which is called as oncology, and the persons which are studying or the researchers or the doctors or the workers which are working in related to the cancer, those are called as the oncologists. The physician, researcher who are specialized in the study, diagnosis, treatment and prevention of the cancer are called as the oncologists. So this is the branch oncology, and the workers which are working, doctors, physicians are called as the oncologist. Okay. Then we have to study, though there are hundreds of different cancers are present in different human bodies, but we have to study the main 5 groups of cancer. Means this cancer is classified into main 5 groups according to the infection of particular organ of the body, and these are the 5 groups. Here we have to see, this is the serial number, the name of cancer, that is a group, then the infective body parts and name of the cancer, by which name that cancer is to be recognized. So here first group, it is called as a carcinoma. First group of this cancer is called as a carcinoma, which is infecting to our epithelial tissues. The epithelial tissues are present all over the body because all over the body skin is present which is made up of epithelial tissue, and inside the body there are different organs, visceral organs we can say, or the body organs, we can say all the body organs are having outer covering that is made up of epithelial tissue, and if this epithelial tissue is going to be infected, is going to be cancerous, that group is called as a carcinoma, and the name of cancer here known as breast cancer, lung cancer, stomach cancer, skin cancer, etc. Means if the organs of our body are going to be cancerous or skin is showing cancerous property, that type of cancer is called as a carcinoma, having infection to epithelial tissue, and these are the different names of the cancer. This is the first group, carcinoma infecting to epithelial tissue. Now the second group here, sarcoma, which is particularly infecting the connective tissues which are present in our body. So here sarcoma group infecting to the body part, that is called as the connective tissues. So we have studied in 11th standard the different connective tissues, that is we have studied the areolar connective tissue, adipose connective tissue, tendons, ligaments, bone, cartilage. So here bone tumors, which is called as a osteosarcoma. Bone tumors are called as a osteosarcoma. Osteo means bone, and sarcoma is the group of the cancer. So here osteosarcoma, bone tumors or bone cancer, we can call it as cancer of cartilage, which is also called as chondrosarcoma. Chondro means cartilage and sarcoma means group of this cancer. So chondrosarcoma, and cancer of adipose tissue, liposarcoma. So here bone, cartilage and adipose tissue are showing cancer, and these are the names of this cancer: bone cancer, osteosarcoma; cartilage cancer, chondrosarcoma; and adipose tissue cancer, liposarcoma. So this is the second group, sarcoma, which is infecting to the connective tissues of our body. Okay. Now third group, lymphoma. As the name is given, this is infecting the lymphatic tissue, lymphatic system of our body, lymph nodes, lymph vessels, lymph glands. So here lymph nodes and tissues of immune system and spleen. These are the lymphoid organs or lymphoid tissues, and this lymphoma is infecting the lymphoid tissue, and therefore it is called as a lymphoma, which is infecting the lymph organs, lymph nodes, lymphoid tissues and immune systems and spleen. So this is the third group, lymphoma, causing infection to the lymphatic tissue. Next, fourth is the leukemia. As we know, leukemia is also called as the blood cancer, means it is infecting the WBCs and bone marrow cells. Particularly in blood, this leukemia is infecting our WBCs and bone marrow cells. So here commonly it is called as a blood cancer, but in blood the WBCs and bone marrow cells are going to be infected in this group, leukemia. So here monocytes are to be infected, it is called as a monocytic leukemia, and if lymphocytes are going to be infected, it is called as a lymphoblastic leukemia. So these are the two different cancers related to the leukemia or blood cancer. Now the last group here, that is adenocarcinoma. Adenocarcinoma, it is related to our infecting body parts, that is glandular tissues. The different endocrine glands which are present in our body, or different exocrine glands which are present in our body, in that glandular tissue is present, and if that glandular tissue is going to be infected by this cancer, it is called as adenocarcinoma. So here the cancer of thyroid gland, cancer of pituitary gland and other glandular tissues, when going to be affected by cancer, it is included into the adenocarcinoma. So here these 5 different groups of this cancer are present. First we have studied only carcinoma, it is related to epithelial tissue cancer. Second group, sarcoma, it is related to connective tissue cancer. Third is lymphoma, lymphatic tissue cancer. Then leukemia, blood cancer, and adenocarcinoma, it is related to glandular tissue cancer. So it is very much important for the examination point of view, which type of cancer is affecting which organ of the body. So this chart is very much important for the examination point of view. Now as we know, what are the different causes of cancer? As we know, day by day the cancerous patients are to be increased. So what are the causes to be going to be cancer in the patient? So there are different causes of cancer here. The transformation of normal cells into cancerous neoplastic cells may be induced by physical causes, physical factors, chemical factors, or biological factors. So there are some physical agents or factors, there are some chemical agents or factors, or there are biological chemicals or agents which are responsible for this cancer, and these agents are called as carcinogens. Means the physical agents or the chemical agents which are responsible for causing the cancer, those are called as carcinogens. Means the chemicals which are responsible for causing the cancers are called as carcinogenic chemical. त्याला काय म्हटलं जातं? कार्सिनोजेनिक केमिकल किंवा कार्सिनोजेनिक प्रॉपर्टी असणारे फॅक्टर which are responsible for causing the cancer. So here the first is the physical agent. Here the ionizing radiations like X-rays, gamma rays, then cosmic rays and non-ionizing radiations like UV rays. It is responsible for the causes of cancer. So first of all, this is the physical agents, X-rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays and UV rays which are causing the skin cancer. So this is the first cause of cancer, physical agent. Different rays, X-rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays, UV rays are responsible for causing cancer. Now second is the chemical agents. Which are the chemical agents? So there are different chemicals which are known to induce the cancer. These include nicotine, caffeine and products of combustion of coal and oil. So nicotine which is present in tobacco, caffeine which is present in coffee, and when combustion of oil or combustion of coal takes place, from that some chemicals are producing. These chemicals are responsible for causing the chemical agents which are causing the cancer. So these are the different chemical factors. There are several polycyclic hydrocarbons and some sex hormones and steroids, if given on secreted in large amount, may cause cancer. Means there are some medicines which are having these polycyclic hydrocarbons and the sex hormones which are secreted in human body. These are steroid in nature. So if the dose of medicine having polycyclic hydrocarbons is going to higher dose, and if the secretion of these steroid hormones are going to be secreted in larger amount, it is responsible for the cancer causing. So these are the different chemicals. And then here breast cancer which is caused in most of the females, it is responsible to cause the breast cancer because they are having hormonal relationship. Mostly it is seen more commonly in the ladies or in the females which are avoiding the breastfeeding after the pregnancy or after the parturition. The females which are not having proper breastfeeding after parturition or after delivery, in those cases the chances of breast cancer is more. म्हणजे ज्या लेडीज बाळांना व्यवस्थित दूध पाजत नाहीत डिलिव्हरीनंतर, ते टाळतात दूध पाजण्याचं, त्या लेडीजमध्ये आपल्याला ब्रेस्ट कॅन्सरची जास्त शक्यता बघायला मिळते. अदर फॅक्टर्स आर ऑल्सो रिस्पॉन्सिबल, बट दिस इज हार्मोनल रिलेशनशिप टू कॉज द ब्रेस्ट कॅन्सर. दोज फिमेल्स विच आर अवॉइडिंग द breast feeding are showing the breast cancer. So here different hormones, different medicines and different substances like nicotine, caffeine and products of combustion of coal and oil are also responsible for causing the cancer, and therefore these chemical agents are called as the carcinogens. Okay. Now third, here biological agents. There are some viruses, living viruses which are causing the cancer. Those viruses are called as oncogenic viruses. These have genes called as viral oncogenes which causes the cancer. Some viruses are having genes which are called as viral oncogenes, and these viral oncogenes are responsible for causing cancer, and these viruses are also called as oncogenic viruses. There are example here EBV म्हणजे Epstein-Barr virus, EBV Epstein-Barr virus, or HPV human papilloma virus. These two viruses which are having oncogenic property, means they are having the property to cause the uncontrolled cell division, that is cancer. So we have to remember these two names of viruses, Epstein-Barr virus EBV and human papilloma virus HPV. So in biological agent, this is the first oncogenic viruses, and second here cellular oncogenes which are called as a C-onc or proto-oncogenes, means in our body some cells are present which are having this oncogenic property. So here several genes are called as a cellular oncogenes, that is C-onc genes or proto-oncogenes have been identified in normal cells, which when activated under certain conditions could lead to oncogenic transformation of cells. Means here what happens, you see, in our body there are number of cells present, and from these normal cells some cells are having the property to become into cellular oncogenic cells. So the normal cells which are present in our body, when they are going to consider or going to affected certain conditions, they are going to providing certain conditions, they are activated and they are becoming oncogenic, and these are called as a cellular oncogenes or proto-oncogenes. So in normal body cells, if those cells are not having any physical or carcinogenic property or any chemical carcinogenic property or no any viral infection, these cells are also becoming cancerous, because some normal cells are having the ability to transform into these cellular oncogenes. That you have to remember for this point. And the fourth cause here is the addiction. वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचं व्यसन जे लोक करतात त्याच्यामुळे कॅन्सर आपल्याला बघायला मिळतो. सो हिअर डिफरंट टाइप्स ऑफ ॲडिक्शन्स लाईक स्मोकिंग, chewing of tobacco which is lead to cancer of mouth, lips and lungs. Due to smoking, cigarette smoking, and due to chewing of tobacco, mouth cancer, lung cancer or lip cancer we can observing. And then alcohol consumption may result in the cancer of esophagus, stomach, intestine and liver. In some patients alcohol addiction, दारूचं व्यसन आणि त्याच्यामुळं डायजेस्टिव्ह सिस्टीमला कॅन्सर होण्याची शक्यता आपल्याला जास्त बघायला मिळते. ड्रग्ज ऑल्सो कॉजेस कॅन्सर. सम आर हॅविंग ड्रग ॲडिक्शन, वेगवेगळ्या ड्रगचं व्यसन केलं जातं अँड इट इज ऑल्सो रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कॉझिंग कॅन्सर. सो हिअर दीज आर द डिफरंट ड्रग्स, marijuana and anaerobic steroids. These are also responsible for the causing of the cancer. So these are the different factors here we can see to cause the cancer. So here is a chart. There are different carcinogens and organs affected given in our book. So soot means the coal combustion or oil combustion. After coal and oil combustion, the black colored powder is formed which is coming out of our two-wheelers or four-wheelers or any combustion mechanism, and that soot is responsible for causing infection to skin and lungs. Second, coal tar, that is 3,4-benzopyrene. coal tar कोळसा जळाल्यानंतर त्याच्यातून बाहेर पडणारा जो धूर असतो त्याच्यामधून जे बाहेर पडतं ते केमिकल आहे, इथं त्याला 3,4-benzopyrene म्हणलेलं आहे, विच इज इन्फेक्टिंग स्किन अँड लंग्स. देन सिगारेट स्मोक, इन दॅट सिगारेट and nitrosodium methylene, that chemical is present which is responsible for causing the cancer to the lungs. Then cadmium oxide, it is responsible to cause the cancer to prostate gland. Aflatoxin, a metabolite of Aspergillus flavus, a mold, एक बुरशी आहे Aspergillus flavus नावाची, त्या बुरशीपासून हे केमिकल तयार होतं aflatoxin, which is responsible to causing the infection to liver. Next, 2-naphthylamine and 4-aminophenol. 2-naphthylamine and 4-aminophenol, it is causing cancer to our urinary bladder. Next here, mustard gas, responsible to causing lung cancer. Nickel and chromium compounds, responsible for lung cancer. Asbestos, as you know, the respiratory disorder, the occupational lung diseases, in that asbestosis there are different mining workers are present. खाणीमध्ये काम करणारे जे कामगार आहेत ॲस्बेस्टॉसची खाण असेल तर त्या खाणीमध्ये काम करणाऱ्या कामगारांच्यामध्ये आपल्याला लंग कॅन्सर बघायला मिळतो ड्यू टू द इन्हेलेशन ऑफ दिस ॲस्बेस्टॉस फायबर्स. देन डायइथाइल स्टिल्बेस्टेरॉल, vaginal cancer is occurring, and vinyl chloride we see causing the liver. So there are these different chemicals, these are called as a carcinogenic chemicals which are responsible for causing the different infection of this cancer to different organs. So this chart is given in this our new syllabus book. So these are the different carcinogens and related to the organs affected. Now here how this diagnosis of cancer to be done, and it is important for our NEET exam. So just we have seen how the cancer is caused. Now how to diagnose the cancer, how to detect the cancer in the body, because in most of the persons in first stage of development that cancer is not diagnosed, and therefore द डेथ ऑफ पेशंट मे ऑकर. म्हणजे पहिल्या दुसऱ्या स्टेजमध्ये जर आपल्याला लवकर कळलं कॅन्सर झालेलं आहे तर आपण त्याच्यावरती ट्रीटमेंट करू शकतो, पण ते पहिल्या दुसऱ्या स्टेजमध्ये ओळखणं फार कठीण आहे. तर ते ओळखण्यासाठी काय करावं लागतं ते आपण बघणार आहे इथं. सो कॅन्सर डिटेक्शन अँड डायग्नोसिस इट कॅन बी बेस्ड ऑन डिफरंट टेक्निक्स. सो फर्स्ट हियर बायोप्सी अँड हिस्टोपॅथॉलॉजिकल स्टडीज ऑफ द टिश्यू. इन केस ऑफ कॅन्सर वी हॅव टू स्टडी द टिश्यू, वी हॅव टू take biopsy of the tissue, that is histopathological study. If suppose some symptoms are seen, then from that tissue a part of that tissue is taken for the histological study, and that is called as a biopsy or histopathological study. Histology means anatomy, and under the microscope we have to study, and pathological study means how the infection is taking place to that tissue. So here a piece of suspended tissue cut into thin sections and is stained and examined under microscope by the pathologist. So in biopsy, a part of that infected tissue or that suspended tissue is taken place, and then we have to cut that part into very thin sections. We have to make them stained and we have to observe those slides under the microscope, and then we have to identify some pathogenic infection to that tissue, and then it is diagnosed as a cancer or any other disease. So this is the first method, biopsy or histopathological studies of the tissue. Then blood and bone marrow test. For blood cancer or for bone cancer we have to check our blood and bone marrow test for increased cell count in case of leukemia, because normal blood test when we take there is a नंबर ऑफ ब्लड सेल्स, RBCs एवढे आहेत, WBCs एवढे आहेत, प्लेटलेट एवढे आहेत, नॉर्मल रेंज तिथं माहिती असते. बियॉन्ड दॅट नॉर्मल रेंज व्हेन देर इज अ हायर इन्क्रीज इन दी नंबर ऑफ WBCs it may diagnose as the leukemia or the blood cancer or the abnormal bone marrow cells. If diagnosed, if test blood test, then it is diagnosed as a leukemia. So this is the second test we have to take to diagnose the cancer. Now there are different techniques used, that is a radiography, that is using X-rays. When some patients are having some symptoms, then to that particular organ we have to take X-ray on X-ray machine, and then we have to diagnose either it is cancer or any other disease. Then second here CT scan. As you have heard about the CT scan, the CT scan is also checking whether there is cancer or not. The CT is for computed tomography. CT means computed tomography. What happens here? This computed tomography uses X-rays to generate a three-dimensional image of an internal organ. Here in CT scan, all organs are to be tested three-dimensionally. When we are getting X-ray of that CT scan, that image is having three-dimensional image, and therefore the doctors are to be identified if that organ size is normal and the shape of organ is normal, it is non-cancerous. But if that organ is showing large size or abnormal growth, then we have to observe that there may be cancer, and this is diagnosed by the CT scan. Then second here is the MRI scan, that you have also heard. Here MRI means magnetic resonance imaging. म्हणजे MRI स्कॅनमध्ये सुद्धा आपल्याला हे ओळखायला येऊ शकतं. याच्यामध्ये काय केलेलं असतं बघा, इट इज युजफुल टू डिटेक्ट दी कॅन्सर्स ऑफ इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स. इंटरनल बॉडी ऑर्गन्सचा कॅन्सर शोधण्यासाठी याचा वापर केला जातो. MRI uses strong magnetic fields and non-ionizing radiations to detect the pathological and physiological changes in the living tissue. So in case of internal body organ structure and function, we have to use MRI scan, and in case of internal organ, when image is to be generated, then we have to use CT scan. So both these scannings, CT scan and MRI scans are used to detect the different types of cancers that we have to remember. Then there are some antibodies against cancer specific antigens are also used to detection of certain cancers. Means for detection of cancer we have to use here antibodies against cancer specific antigens. If suppose there are different antibodies we have used to suppress the cancerous property, and from that antibodies we have to identify which type of cancer is to be having in that patient. So different types of antibodies are also used to detect the cancer. Then there are different techniques of molecular biology which can be applied to detect genes in individuals with inherited susceptibility to certain cancers, and such individuals may be advised to avoid exposure to particular carcinogen to which they are susceptible. For example, tobacco smoke in case of lung cancer. Means suppose a father is having lung cancer due to tobacco chewing or tobacco smoking. In that case there may be inherited cancer taking place in the children of that father. जे एखाद्या घरामध्ये एखाद्या व्यक्तीला जर कॅन्सर झाला असेल काही टोबॅको स्मोकिंगमुळं किंवा टोबॅको च्युईंगमुळं, तर त्या व्यक्तीची जी मुलं असतील त्या मुलांनासुद्धा हा कॅन्सर होण्याची शक्यता नाकारता येत नाही. बिकॉज इन सम केसेस इट इज इनहेरिटेड ससेप्टिबिलिटी, म्हणजे संशयास्पद इनहेरिटेडली हा डिसीज येऊ शकतो. सो देअरफॉर टू दॅट चिल्ड्रेन वी हॅव टू ॲडवाईज टू अवॉइड दी टोबॅको स्मोक और टू अवॉइड दी टोबॅको च्युईंग. मग त्या मुलांना आपण काय करू शकतो, टोबॅको च्युईंगपासून किंवा टोबॅको स्मोकिंगपासून त्यांना अवॉइड करू शकतो, असा त्यांना सल्ला देऊ शकतो की ज्याच्यामुळे त्यांच्यामध्ये कॅन्सर होणार नाही. त्यामुळं जर त्या एखाद्या व्यक्तीला असेल घरामध्ये तर त्यांच्यापासूनसुद्धा संक्रमण होण्याची शक्यता असते. त्यामुळे त्याच्यावरूनसुद्धा आपण कॅन्सरचं डिटेक्शन करू शकतो असं या पॉईंटमध्ये सांगितलेलं आहे. इट इज नॉट व्हेरी मच इम्पॉर्टंट. वी हॅव टू रिमेंबर बायोप्सी मेथड, हिस्टोपॅथोलॉजिकल मेथड, blood test, bone marrow test, and then different techniques like X-ray, CT scan, MRI scan which are used to diagnose the cancer. That is very much important methods to diagnose the cancer. Now the symptoms of cancer. What are the different symptoms of cancer? As you know, there are several hundred types of cancers are present. So there are several symptoms are present. There is only one symptom. According to that we have to identify that is the cancer. So there are number of symptoms. As you know, first symptom here is the formation of tumor. So here development of tumor that can be seen or felt. Tumor वरच्या बाजूला असेल तर तो आपण बघू शकतो, आतल्या बाजूला असेल तर तो आपण असा हात लावल्यानंतर आपल्याला जाणवू सुद्धा शकतो. So tumor formation is the first important symptom here. Next, change in rot or mole on the skin. In case of skin cancer we have to observe if there is a presence of mole on our skin. म्हणजे तीळ असेल आपल्याकडे अंगावरती किंवा चामखीळ असेल तर त्या चामखिळीचा आकार असेल किंवा त्या तिळाचा आकार असेल तो वाढलेला बघायला मिळतो. इन केस ऑफ स्किन कॅन्सर इट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ मेलॅनोमा. स्किन कॅन्सर इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ मेलॅनोमा. सो चेंज इन रॉट और मोल, म्हणजे चामखीळ असेल किंवा तीळ असेल तर त्याची साईज वाढते. नेक्स्ट, व्हाईट पॅचेस इनसाइड द माउथ और व्हाईट स्पॉट ऑन द टंग इन केस ऑफ माउथ कॅन्सर. जे टोबॅको च्युईंग किंवा टोबॅको स्मोकिंगमुळे माउथ कॅन्सर झाला असेल तर जिभेवरती किंवा तोंडामध्ये आतल्या बाजूला व्हाईट कलरचे स्पॉट आपल्याला बघायला मिळतात, व्हाईट पॅचेस बघायला मिळतात. ते सिम्पटम असू शकतं. इन केस ऑफ लिम्फॅटिक सिस्टीम स्वलन और एनलार्ज्ड लिम्फ नोड्स. देन सडन लॉस इन वेट, दिस इज ऑल्सो सिम्पटम. वर्टिगो, हेडेक्स इफ कॅन्सर स्प्रेड्स टू ब्रेन. जर ब्रेनला कॅन्सर स्प्रेड झाला असेल तर त्याचे डोकं दुखणं किंवा त्याला चक्कर येणे हे सिम्पटम्स आपल्याला बघायला मिळू शकतात. Then persistent coughing and shortness of breath. If cancer is taking place in our respiratory system, in our lungs, then there is persistent coughing and shortness of breath. Continuous खोकला आणि श्वास घ्यायला त्रास होऊ शकतो. And enlarged liver causing jaundice. If liver infection takes place, it is showing enlarged liver causing jaundice. And bones become painful, brittle and break easily. If suppose bone cancer is there, then bones become brittle. जर हाडांना कॅन्सर झाला असेल तर हाडं ठिसूळ होतात and they can break easily. So which organ is to be infected? Accordingly, there are different symptoms that we have seen related to cancer. There is no any single symptom. Which organ is to be affected by the cancer? Related to that organ, there are different symptoms as we have seen. So in today's lecture, we have seen what is meant by cancer, types of cancer, causes of cancer, and how to diagnose the cancer and symptoms of the cancer. Remaining points we have to study in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.